Okay, well, derivative of this thing, I'm going to get 2. What's the derivative of sine? Cosine of x plus. All right, now this is actually going to get chain ruled. So the derivative of the outside part with the inside left alone times the derivative of the inside. 2. Okay. Clean it up, so I get 2 cosine of x plus 2 cosine of 2x. All right. Then I want to take the derivative of this. All right. I'm going to get 2. What's the derivative of cosine? Negative sine of x plus. All right. 2. What's the derivative of this?
Negative cosine.
So negative sine of the inside left alone times the derivative of the inside. 2. Okay. All right. I don't like this. This can be substituted for something else. You guys have those orange sheets, right?
You never gave it.
Yeah, you never gave it to us.
Oh.
You said you were going to.
I have to make copies. Hey, put on my list, one of you, write down trig sheets. Trig. Okay, this one is fortunately one that I remember. This is 2 sine cosine. Okay, so I've got negative 2 sine of x minus 8 sine of x cosine of x. What do these two terms have in common?
Negative 2.
A negative 2 and a sine. Leaving me behind with what here? 1. How about here? Positive 4 cosine. Okay, so what makes this equal 0? When is sine equal to 0? Zero, pi, and 2 pi. Those are all going to have to go in the sheet. But these, where is 1 plus 4 cosine of x equal to 0? Oh, so where is that didn't come out nice. I was hoping it'd be 1/2 or something, because that one we can actually do. So pretty much my only option at this point is to go inverse cosine. And x is going to come out to be whatever you get for that. And make sure your calculator's in radians. You doing it, Kendall?
Working on it.
Okay.
It's got 1.82.
Inverse cosine of what?
Negative 1/4.
1.82.
Oh, is it?
It's
just
negative
1/4?
1/4.
It's negative 1/4.
Negative 1/4. You're right. Is that what you typed in?
Hold on.
I got 1.8.
Yeah.
Okay.
2.
Okay, good. All right, then when you make your little number line, then I'm going to have 4 things on it. 0, and the trig ones, you always just go in between 0 and 2 pi.
So that immediately excludes 0 and 2 pi.
I didn't look to see what it looked like up here. Was it brackets? It's brackets, so they're included this time. Okay, so, and then I don't need all of these because that takes care of these two, so I really only need 2 more things in here. Pi is 3.14, okay? So that's bigger than this one. So this is going to go 1.82 and then pi. All right, and then you start choosing values that are in between here, testing them into what? Test in here, all right, to get your smiles and your frowns. Right? Worst case scenario, just type them in the calculator, because you're not really interested in the god-awful numbers that you get out, right? What do you only care about? Signs, right? So go ahead and just pick numbers, make sure your calculator's in radians, but just pick numbers that are in between these things, throw them into here and see if whether you get a positive or negative or not. That's the easier way to do it. Okay. Chances are I'm not going to give you anything that awful on the quiz. In fact, the quiz only has 2 problems on it. Right? Your homework tonight is going to be a practice of problems like that. So I'm changing the directions. So let me put the homework up here for you. And then I'm going to show you the way that I want you to do them so that it looks very similar to the quiz. Wednesday.
You just let me take that project. And then we'll have an exam on.
Just make sure that you plan time for 2 tests. You got to take your quarter exam, and then you got to take this. All right, so make sure.
I don't have school on Friday.
Okay, just make sure that you've got. You give me plenty of time. Okay, so page 195, 27 through 39 on. You're going to follow my steps. Now it's going to look like a lot of steps, but a lot of these are going to be real easy because there's going to be no answer for some of them. So you'll just put none, and it's going to go kind of quickly.
I have a question about Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
For the academy,
Yeah.
do we have to come in for everything?
No. For me, I'm not sure what the other 2 teachers are doing, but what I'm doing is come whenever. Between the hours of 7:30 and 2:30. At 2:30 I'm leaving,
Yeah.
but make sure that you give yourself enough time to take it.
Okay.
I don't care when. I'll be here. All right, now, my steps. Let me find them. What they're going to give you in your homework is they're going to give you some sort of function, okay? And there's going to be 13 parts to this. All right, but like I said, a lot of them are going to be blank, so you'll just put none, okay? So they're going to give you a function. Part A, you're going to take the derivative. So you're going to find f prime. All right, so essentially the next few steps are all going to be doing the first derivative test. So part B, you're going to tell me what are the critical numbers. Part C, you're going to tell me any maximums. Part D, you're going to tell me any minimums. And these are places where, well, if you don't have any maximums, you just put none. E, you're going to tell me the intervals of increasing. F, you're going to tell me the intervals of decreasing. All right, all of that, that's the first derivative test. All right, then next, no surprise, second derivative test. So you go f double prime, so you're going to find the second derivative. You're going to find the new critical numbers, that's h. I, points of inflection. J, intervals of concave up. K, intervals of concave down. That's the second derivative test. L's the easy one. It'll be x-intercepts. How do you find x-intercepts of anything? What do you do to the original?
You solve for what? Like, yeah.
Make y equals 0 and then solve for it. What if I wanted the y-intercepts instead?
Make x equal to 0.
Make x equal to 0 and find them. So that one, whatever's easiest, that's going to be the one that I put on the test. All right, so if it's real simple, it'll either be x or y, whichever one's simplest for you. All right, and then M. You're going to use that information to sketch yourself a pretty little graph. And that's exactly what the quiz is going to look like. You're going to have 2 of these. The quiz on Wednesday. Yep. You're going to have these things just left blank with a function at the top. You can just go down with start going.
Can we use those notes right?
Yeah, I'll post it. Yeah, so the homework tonight should be really good practice for that. And probably most of the ones in the like a lot of the ones in the homework are probably going to be a lot harder than what I give you on the quiz. But the ones towards the beginning of the homework tonight should be pretty.
Like quiz level.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so see what you can do with those.
Okay.
Usually this quiz is really good.
And then about the final, is that Friday or Thursday?
Thursday or Friday, whenever you can be here.
Or Friday?
I don't care.